Hey everybody, this is TJR. On June 29, 2018, the now legendary debut album from Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, will be re-released. It's going to be re-released in a number of configurations. I'm going to start off by talking about the Super Deluxe Edition. This edition will feature a 96-page hardcover book that will feature unreleased photos from Axl's personal archive. It will be apparently loaded with memorabilia. This edition will feature 4 CDs. This is a total of 73 tracks, 49 of them previously unreleased. Now, the album itself is being newly remastered for the first time from the original master tapes, and this is going to be the key component in every single one of these different re-release configurations. The Deluxe Edition will contain 12 tracks from B-sides and EPs, newly remastered from the original analog tapes, 25 unreleased recordings from the 1986 Sound City sessions, 2 unreleased recordings from the Mike Clink sessions, Shadow of Your Love from December 1986 Mike Clink tryout session, and Move to the City, 1988 acoustic version from the GNR live sessions. This will also include a Blu-ray audio disc featuring, of course, the original album mixed by Elliot Shiner. Hopefully I've said his name right. Also 5 bonus tracks, also mixed by Elliot Shiner and Frank Filippetti. Once again, I hope I've said the name correctly. 4 original music videos in 5.1, and the unreleased 1989 It's So Easy video in 5.1. Now also included will be 5 previously unseen band member lithos, Welcome to the Jungle video invite flyer originally drawn by Slash, a Robert Williams painting litho, and temporary band member tattoos. I have a feeling if I buy this set, I'm not going to, put those tattoos on. 3 replica ticket stubs, a wall poster, and if you send $25 to my secret underground headquarters, my mother will personally call you and scold you for listening to such horrible music and ask you when are you going to start listening to nice music. Hey, I got to make a buck on this somehow. This set is currently listing on Amazon for $179.98. Now, history has shown that when these big sets are first listed on Amazon, the price starts high. As you get closer to the release date, it goes down. If you pre-order and the price goes down, you're guaranteed the lowest price. Now, what probably won't fluctuate very much are the other configurations. Now, this includes the 2 CD Deluxe Edition. This features, of course, the original album remaster that I mentioned earlier, and then a second CD featuring 18 tracks. These are all highlights from the Super Deluxe CDs with 7 unreleased recordings, expanded album art with unreleased photos from Axl's personal archive and memorabilia. This edition will be selling for $19.98. At least that's what it's listed at right now. I don't expect that to change too much. Also, there will be a single disc version. This is just the album remaster, $13.98. I suppose if you're just someone who does not like bonus tracks, you're going to go with this edition just for the remaster. There will also be a 2 vinyl LP edition of this re-release. Now, once again, this will include the new album remaster from the original master tapes, expanded to 2 LPs, something that's never been done before, and this is being done for maximum audiophile playback. This edition will feature a limited edition foil art slipcase. Incidentally, the tracks, even when spread out over 2 LPs, will only cover 3 sides. So on side 4, there is going to be what's called the Hologroove hologram of the GNR logo. I haven't seen any footage of what this looks like. I'm assuming they're taking a page out of Jack White's book with his deluxe edition of his album Lazaretto that he did, where you had a hologram when you played it, probably something like that. Also, the vinyl edition will come with a download card sticker for a digital album version as well, which I think is great that they're including that. However, though, for the $30 price tag that is how it currently is on Amazon, I think that they could have at least included a digital download of CD2 of the Deluxe Edition. But wait. There's more. There is going to be an even bigger set. It's going to be encased in a wood box. It's being referred to as the Locked and Loaded Edition. It will include everything I've already mentioned from all these other sets, plus more. It's only available at the Guns N' Roses website. And I am not going to go into what it includes because there's only so much time in the day here, and we do have to break for lunch here. But take a trip to the Guns N' Roses website, take a look at what this set entails, and marvel at how much it's going to set you back. Now, at the heart of all of these re-release packages is going to be, of course, this remaster. Apparently, this is the first time the album has been remastered from the original analog tapes. And personally, I have a pretty good feeling about this, that this will be a solid job. Over the years, I've been very critical about Axl Rose's behavior as a professional in the industry. But one thing I will give him credit for, when Chinese Democracy was released, he was presented with two different versions of the album. One with what would be referred to as just standard compression that would be normal on an album. And then the slammed out compression version that at that time period most artists and bands were going for. They were going for the totally slammed out compression, full on loud version of the album. And he said no to the latter and yes to the former, and I give him credit for that. Chinese Democracy was one album from that time period of the loudness wars that was not overcompressed. And so I have a pretty good feeling, since Axl does own the name Guns N' Roses, that this will be a solid remaster. Now, as for which set do I want to pick up, I'm kind of torn between either getting the 2 LP vinyl version or the 2 CD version. The LP version is not going to include any bonus tracks, and honestly, for the price that they currently have it listed at, I think that it would have been a no-brainer if they just had included the tracks from the second disc on the 2 CD version as a digital download only. I think that would have been a great way to justify the price of that. Of course, the price on that vinyl version might go down before it gets released. Also, something to consider is the fact that it's probably a safe bet, of course, that the remaster itself will be available on streaming services. That's, of course, going to happen. But it's probably also a safe bet that the 2 CD version will also appear on streaming services. So I could just get the vinyl edition and just stream the bonus tracks that's on the 2 CD set. Now, I guess the big question is, will the Super Deluxe Edition, at least the tracks, be available on streaming services? This is up in the air. The Sgt. Pepper 2 CD set was, of course, available for streaming, but the extra tracks from the Super Deluxe set were not. When Stone Temple Pilots re-released Core, the entire Super Deluxe Edition, at least all the audio tracks, were available for streaming. So who knows how that's going to go. We'll, of course, all know on the day of release. As for the Super Deluxe Edition, I have to admit it looks really nice, and the collector in me kind of goes, ooh, that looks really good. But I think I'm probably going to sit this one out. Of course, I did say that about the Sgt. Pepper Super Deluxe Edition. I initially said I was only going to go for the 2 CD set, but I ended up going for the whole enchilada. Who knows, maybe if the price comes down enough, I might be tempted to get it. Not as big a fan of this album as I am of Sgt. Pepper, though, and I think that had a lot to do with my decision. It's an amazing thing about Guns N' Roses. They have achieved this iconic, legendary rock band status. And yet, in their time, they've actually only released 2 full-length studio albums of original material. Now, before you start yelling at me and saying, what about Lies? What about Spaghetti Incident? What about Chinese Democracy? I enjoyed Lies, but I don't count it because it's not a full-length album. It is an EP. I don't count Spaghetti Incident because it is an album of all covers. And as far as I'm concerned, Chinese Democracy is not a Guns N' Roses album. It's an Axl Rose solo album with the GNR name slapped on it. Now, that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. So that leaves us with Appetite for Destruction and Use Your Illusion Parts 1 and 2. 2 full-length studio albums, 3 if you want to count Use Your Illusion twice, since it was released as 2 separate discs. Once again, I'm not saying that Guns N' Roses does not deserve this status, but how many bands do you know of with that small of an output of original material that has reached legendary iconic status? Something to think about. So what do you think? Are you going to pick up one of these remastered editions? And if so, which one? Or do you think it's a waste of money? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Be sure to leave a comment. As always, please click subscribe and please click notifications so you can know when I make new videos, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.